Okay, so we are here once again in Pet Simulator 99, and in today's video I'm going to go over some of the best free to play enchant setups that you can use right now in the game. Now we're going to basically cover pretty much everything from getting diamonds, coins, damage, treasure like like drops and stuff, as well as hatching as well. So honestly, we're just going to kind of cover pretty much every kind of setup you can possibly get. Now some of these can be a bit expensive, so of course the more damage you have the better. However, don't panic too much because there is also some very cheap ones in here as well, which we will also look at in a little while. However, let's just get into some of the first ones right here. We're going to start out with the diamonds enchant, which is this one right here, Loadout 1. And this is honestly going to be the most expensive one that you can use. Now getting diamonds is usually pretty difficult, however it can become very easy with spending diamonds basically. As weird as it sounds, you've got to make money, but you've got to spend money to make money. That's the saying, I guess. So we do start out here with the diamond chest mimic. Now this is going to be the most expensive enchant in this video, and don't worry too much, you do not need to have this. However, if you do have the diamonds around somehow, some way, it is honestly worth getting this thing because you can get a ton of diamonds from this overall. Basically, it just kind of a random diamond mini chest will appear every now and again, and of course you're going to get a lot of diamonds from this. Same thing with a massive comet. I think this is actually a very underrated enchant overall. It doesn't give you the most diamonds, however it does also give you more item drops and coins on top of that as well. So overall the massive comet really can be a big help, just with kind of getting a little bit of everything along with your diamonds, because you can of course get some chances of getting like keys and stuff, which again can sell for quite a lot. So it's always going to be a really good thing to have more drops as well. Of course, getting the best possible enchant that you can get in terms of just diamonds overall. Of course, this one isn't too important because of course 60% isn't really too much of an increase from 55%. Of course, though, this is 843,000. However, the one below that is only 114,000, so it doesn't really matter too much which one you use. It's not really going to be a massive difference. However, the better the level, the better it's going to be. We do also have Lucky Block as well, pretty similar to the massive comet. It's just going to give you more drops, and of course the more drops you can get, the luckier you might get with getting keys and like just different enchants as well, which you can then go on to sell. And then the final one, which honestly I think is the most underrated enchant in the game, which is Fruity. Now, I actually do use fruits quite a lot within this game because I think they are very, very powerful indeed. It does increase the power of your fruits by 25%, however they do expire twice as fast. I don't really think this is a problem. I think fruits are very easy to get in the game right now. Currently I have thousands of each, so honestly it's not really too much of a problem. And just because they do expire faster, it kind of means that you have to stay on top of your fruits a little bit more, which then can help with your mastery. Currently I'm at level 41. However, as you can see, once you get to level 50, they last longer. And I think there's one somewhere further down where it starts to like auto queue. Yeah, well, I guess it is level 99. However, when you can start auto queuing your fruits, it's going to be really, really powerful to have that. So yeah, overall, that is going to be the most expensive setup right there. However, of course, if you don't really have enough to get some of these more expensive ones, you can genuinely just swap these out for some normal, like, diamonds and then treasure hunter or something like that. So honestly, you don't really have to get all of this. However, I think this is going to be a really, really good way of getting diamonds overall. Now we're going to move on to some of, I think this is damage. Now, of course, the more damage you can do, the more breakables you're going to break. It can be good for different like ranks and stuff. Say you have to break a certain amount of breakables in a certain area. This can be really good. So of course we do have just strong pets right here. Very cheap enchants overall. This one's only 22k. You can get the better version, which I think is around 500k. However, again, it's not really too important. It's not really a massive difference overall, but just doing more strength is always going to be a really good one. Exotic pet, again, a very, very cheap one, but it does increase your best pet strength by 150%. So your best pet's going to be bouncing around everywhere, getting a ton of damage done as well. Super lightning can also be good, especially if you do have auto tap. Because of course just getting lightning bolts going between all your breakables, damaging them a lot quicker, again can be really good. And then again, Fruity is making another appearance because when you have your apples on, and it's already at like 20 or 30% more damage, plus the extra 25% you get from this book as well. It's going to be very, very powerful indeed. So again, I would highly recommend just getting through it. It's 85,000 diamonds. Honestly, it's worth it quite a lot. You can also get something like fireworks, which sporadically does shoot out fireworks to explode the breakables that you tap. This is going to be another good one in case you don't want to get super lightning. And again, in case you don't want to get that, maybe you want to use criticals, this is another good book as well, because it does give your pets a very good chance as well at doing a lot of damage. As you can see there, this one, very cheap, 24,000 diamonds, but it's got a 23% chance that a critical hit is inflicted, which is 5 times more damage. So again, that's going to be a really good one. You might also want to get tap power, however I don't really think tapping really does too much anyway, unless you are breaking like a boss chest. So maybe you can swap out the super lightning for probably criticals. However, let's move on to the next one right here, and now this is going to be the items drops. Now this is really, really strong. A lot of people do tend to go more for the treasure hunter and the item drops enchant loadouts, just because you can get the keys and like the keys, the enchants. Any sort of breakable is always going to be, well, any sort of drop is going to be really good. It's a good way to fill up your flags, a good way to fill up your buffs and also your fruits as well. Even just the bundles, the large gift bags, your keys, anything like that. I think even vouchers you can get from this as well, like the tickets. I think you can even get charm drops and also some of the event stuff like the glitch cores as well. These are going to be really, really good to actually get. So again, doing something like a drops enchant loadout is going to be really, really good. Of course, getting the best possible treasure hunter book that you can get is always going to be really good. 50% there, which is a very, very big increase as well. The one below it again is only 5% lower. So if you don't want to be spending 800,000 diamonds, you can just get this one right here for 30,000 diamonds. Much, much more affordable. Again, massive comet and lucky blocks are making a return. These are very, very big with getting a lot of different drops. Honestly, you can get such a big amount of drops from these, depending on how often they do, how often they actually like activate and stuff as well. It's always going to be really good. I do recommend as well using another like form of strong pets in here, just to break breakables a little bit quicker. However, if you are in the last area already and you're already pretty much insta breaking stuff, you can just swap this out for another treasure hunter book, or maybe criticals or something like that instead, which is also going to be really, really good. And again, fruity does make another return, as I've already mentioned before, getting that massive boost on your fruits. I think it's the pineapple one for this one, which does increase your chances it drops by 1% per fruit, which is really good as well. And again, I recommend getting that one because it's very cheap. Moving on to Loadout 4, now this is the only one that does not have fruity. That is because it is the lucky or the hatching loadout. Now again, the better books that you can get, the better it's going to be. I have one of these lucky eggs 8 books right here, which is nearly 500,000 gems, doing 140% luck to your eggs. However, the one below that is only 100,000 per book, and it is only, I think, 15% lower, so it's not really too bad. If you do want to get the best version of this, which I do believe is, I think it's like lucky 9, that is 3 million diamonds, and it does do around 155% more luck to your eggs. However, if you do stack these, it's going to be really, really good as well. So honestly, don't really worry about that too much. I just recommend going for like probably these ones, which will be more than enough. However, the two that I do recommend you try and get, really do save up for these, is the huge hunter and the shiny hunter. Now there is actually a way to get these for free in the achievements, of course. I'm not exactly too sure how many eggs you have to hatch for either of these. I think, yeah, so for the huge hunter right here, you basically have to hatch around like 1.1 million eggs overall. It's really not too bad when you do have multiple eggs opening already. If you have like 20 to 30 eggs opening, you'll get to this in no time whatsoever. But of course, you can then get a free huge hunter book right there once you finally complete it. And I think it's very similar there for the shiny pets. Just hatch, I think it's 2,250 shiny pets overall, and you can get a shiny hunter for free as well, which is always going to be really, really good. And again, just another really quick tip, just try and find all these shiny relics as well around the map, because as well that also does increase your shiny chances and does make it a lot easier to get this book, and then also makes this book more overpowered as well. So honestly, it's not really too difficult to get a lucky loadout. I think really just the huge hunter and the shiny hunter do take a little bit of time depending on how you get them. However, now we're going to move on to coins, and this is the last one, of course. So honestly, coins really I don't think is too difficult to get, and I don't really think it really changes too much. I'm honestly just using this one right here, coins 8. It's less than 50,000 diamonds, so very affordable indeed. However, I do actually use pretty much every other, like a little bit of every other loadout in here. I do use a little bit of treasure hunter. I use a lucky block as well on there, just because you can get more stuff. And maybe swap this out for massive comet instead of lucky book, whatever it's called. Because you do get coins from the massive comet as well, so it might actually help with getting some coins overall. I also put a diamonds book on there, and then Fruity finally makes a return, of course, because again, using the bananas and stuff, it's just going to increase your overall coins massively. Honestly, for me, using this loadout, it literally takes like, I don't even know, less than an hour maybe to get more or less full coins. It's honestly not too bad as well. Then of course, you can maybe like swap these around a little bit once you kind of like have enough. Put some magnet flags down, maybe take off one of the lucky eggs, and then put on the coins just in case you are AFKing overnight, so then you are keeping the coins going as well as whilst you're hatching. Just make sure that you do put down a magnet flag, or if you do really have enough diamonds, just get super magnet as well, that can really work. But yeah, overall I would say these are fairly cheap to get. Just this one is pretty expensive. However, if you can't afford all this, just basically swap it out for different diamond books. It honestly just works as well. Of course, this one right here did actually cost like, I think it's like 250 million diamonds. However, just swapping these out, it's going to cost you around 1 million. So again, you don't really have to go overboard with it. It can be a nice way just to save up for these books, and then afterwards you can afford them after using some of the cheaper methods. But yeah, that's it from me. I think these loadouts are very powerful, and of course make sure you are trying to get to rank 11 and rank 20 as well. For some reason I'm stuck at rank 10 and I really can't be bothered grinding the ranks, but yeah, the more stuff that you can get, the better. However, that is it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.